Sims, let's go.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are watching the GSL Talk Show. Are you single and consider yourself an introvert? Then this episode is for you. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the GSL Talk Show. I am here with Mr. Jon Pethke. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good. How are you doing, Miracle?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to have you here. Welcome to GSL, the GSL Talk Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Yeah. I'm out of Appleton, Wisconsin. I work as an internal auditor for American Family Insurance and teach small business development part-time, getting my master's from UW Oshkosh. And then I started that dating app for introverts called CoyAmore. Outside of professional development, I'd say, I just like to hang out with my friends and family in the meantime and just, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. All those things sound amazing, but of course, you guys know here on GSL, what stands out the most is you talking about this dating app. So I'm definitely excited to hear more about that because everybody knows I have a heart for single people, and I went through my journey. We're all about it. So I mean, definitely anything that can help the next person, I'm all about and whatnot. So I would love to hear, the inspiration behind that.
Yeah. Backtrack to beginning of 2022. Even before that, I guess I've used dating apps, on and off for probably 10 years or so or more. And I've used, pretty much all of them in some capacity, all the main ones you'd know about. The beginning of last year, I was in my office with some work colleagues and we were talking about dating and dating apps. And I had said, I wish there was something, that catered to the introverted community, something for more like who I am as a person. So one of them was like, well, why don't you make it? And I was like, I laughed at it, but he was like, no, I'm serious. You should do it. So I did some research into it and I found that there wasn't really like anything strongly catering to the introverted community. So I did a lot more research and thought I'd take a shot at it. So that's kind of like where the inspiration came. Past that, it's like as an introvert, I think I know what kind of struggles we have. So I kind of knew some of what to put into it. I've interviewed a lot of people in my customer segment about like their pain points as well. So that's a lot of where the inspiration came from.
Okay. I mean, well, thank you for sharing that and everything like that. There's definitely more to discuss there, but one of the things that came, I guess, into my heart and mind to ask is, when did you know you were introverted, and like, how did you find out? Like, was it a diagnosis, or was it like, I just since I was born, I knew like. How was that for you, and can you explain like what that is and what's that like, for
Yeah.
people
I don't know that I put a lot of thought into it until like more time went on in my life. I'd probably my early 20s, I probably could have recognized it. And I was a Air Force veteran, and maybe like the military closed me off a bit, but
not know?
I think I was a bit more hyperactive when I was younger. But over the years, I think I just came into my own. And the way I look at introversion versus extroversion is how individuals choose to or just naturally expand their energy. So I think like introverts, we may all have the exact same amount of energy. It's just the way we choose to use it. So introverts may um, choose to observe or analyze and think more about like situations. Not to say extroverts don't think about situations, but they're more vocal. They're typically more outwardly energetic a lot of times. So I think that's kind of how I look at the relationship between those two.
Okay. Okay. So it was something later on in life that you kind of just realized, and then ultimately it's led you into this this position that I would think is I guess an extrovert type of task for you to now be the face of this app and things of that nature. Like, so how does it feel to kind of like be thrust into perhaps a place that you I don't know if you wanted to be?
Yeah.
um
Um, I guess going into it, I hadn't anticipated having to be the face of it. And that's definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone a lot. I don't love that. I'm just um, doing it for the sake of hoping that this can be something that people can use and connect with. But yeah, I mean, between like PR and networking and advertising and marketing, things such as podcasts, this is not something that I would normally do, and it's not my favorite thing to do ever, but it's me trying to put the work in. So
Well, look, I commend you on that. I say a step of faith, but then also a step out of your comfort zone. I think that's amazing that you saw the need, and then now you're doing what you can to maybe not fully fulfill the need, but be a stepping stone, perhaps, and
yeah,
everything. So how is it going thus far then? And how is the app, and how's the process of creating it and all
yeah.
of that? How's the whole thing?
So yeah, I'll walk you through that. So the initially a lot of research like had to go into it, what I wanted the app to be, what I wanted to make and put into it. So um, at the time I was really into documenting things on a whiteboard through work. So I ended up buying like a classroom long whiteboard of my own, and I just kind of like kept documenting everything I found. I'd take a picture of it, erase it, and then continue documenting and consolidating until it was kind of like what I wanted the business to be. Um, and then it kind of came down to I'm not a tech person, so I had to figure out how to actually make it. And with that, I had to bring in help. And there are so many different forms of like development companies out there from small to big. So I had to do like a big, like kind of interview session with a bunch of companies to try and find one that fit, or I felt that fit for me. And eventually I found one called Glow Technologies out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They were interested in it, and we had some good conversations and decided to move forward with it. We started development in May of 2022, and it kind of goes in phases, the development. And my favorite part was the like design phase because I could contribute the most there because I knew what I wanted it to look like and feel like. So that was my favorite part. After the design phase kind of actually came like the coding and development part of it, and that I couldn't really do a lot for, so I had to kind of look into other things that I could contribute into the business like marketing and such. So fast forward to May of 2023, we released the app earlier this year, and I'd say um, I tried to take on the marketing myself, which was a mistake. I don't know anything about marketing, and I've hired someone since then, and that's been going really well. We're currently in the hundreds of users base, but we're hoping since hiring the marketing manager that we're gonna add a lot more to that. We've seen a lot of progress in the short time she's been on, so Yeah, it's I'd say it's going well though.
Cool. Look, like, so not only are you, hopefully making connections with other people through your app and whatnot, but it seems like, again, you've been thrust out of your comfort zone to now make all these relationships with these, people that you're hiring and things of that nature, which I think is a really cool thing. And I don't know how you feel about it. Like, how do you feel about all these new people in your life now?
I feel honestly blessed. I mean, like I like I said, networking is not like a strong point for me. As an introvert, I'm not naturally good at connecting with people, but regardless of that, I think I've learned a lot and I've gained a lot of great colleagues and connections and friends throughout the process. And I'm just, you know, if I can take away, I mean, I have a lot of takeaways from just the 2 years I've been doing this, but one of them is just the people I've come into contact with. I even outside of like this specific business, there's been a lot of things that they've been able to help with, and I've been able to help with them. So there's been a lot of positives, despite it, pushing me out of my comfort zone. So
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that and everything. I mean, who knows? At some point, maybe you'll get you a nice spokesperson or something. But I think it's great, each and everything, because not only again it's stretching you with the comfort zone situation, but I think, do you feel like it's growing you as a person as well? Like,
yeah.
do you see changes within you from when you started and now?
Maybe just more stressed for sure.
Not for stress.
But no, I mean, I think developmentally, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still not like a natural at connecting with people, but it's definitely helped in some capacity. And even in my like professional life outside of the business, I've gained a lot of like help there. For example, like I when I started this, I was working somewhere, which was a good job, but it pushed me into like I had to change careers for a couple different reasons, and I wouldn't have done that had I not started this. And the
Mm,
career I'm in now is like so much more positive for me. Additionally, I was able to get a part-time position helping veterans about like teach them about small business, which is like super fulfilling to me because I like
mm.
teaching. So it's been like really fruitful. Yeah.
You know what? I was going to ask you. I know, even though I think the reason I didn't ask you is because you mentioned what your favorite part was. For some reason, I'm not. Look, I say this joke often, so sorry for people that listen to me all the time. But I was going to say, I don't call myself a polyliar out here or nothing like that. But I don't know. For some reason, when you were talking about the whiteboard and whatnot, I was like, I bet that probably is his favorite part. Like, I bet that's probably like something he enjoyed doing.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed that part of it. I'm very organized, and it's fun to me, honestly, just like taking things and trying to organize them.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I meant to say prophet liar. Sorry. Look, am I a prophet? Ooh, that is the question. No, well, that's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of things. You remind me of my husband in some ways, but he's actually into development and whatnot. So it's so interesting, this whole thing. Praying for him, that he gets the opportunity of his dreams and whatnot as well. But yeah, man. So I mean, again, there's so many places to go. But well, I'm curious. Are you on the app as a potential?
Yeah, I definitely am. I'd say like my profile comes up and comes down kind of because like I will remake my profile to like look for like bugs in the process periodically. But yeah, I'm on there. I'm a single person myself, so it'd be nice to meet someone at some point.
Okay, okay. And so how's the feedback been with the hundreds of people that have, downloaded it and used it thus far? Like, what are they saying about your app,
Yeah,
and how
I'd
does
say
that make you feel to get feedback about this thing you've created? And
yeah, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, both on like just the feel of it, like part of our branding. I wanted to figure out what can represent and be comfortable for introverted people. So, like for example, something as simple as the color scheme. We went with a lot of blues because blues naturally show like that people are more comfortable around that.
Mm.
And I haven't really seen any of the other dating apps use like a blue color scheme, but that's something as simple as that. People additionally um, like how it I know there's a word for it, I can't think of it. Just like how it's easy to use, essentially, is what a lot of people say. They love the concept. The features we have in it are, positive feedback there. Our match algorithm is based off of the 5 universal love languages. So when you make a profile, you get to reorder those in your preferred way. And then you match with people based on that outside of just like mile limitation factor. But then we try to incorporate like unique features that are going to help introverts out, such as our blind date feature. We When two users match and start chatting, if one user toggles the blind date feature on, it lets the app know that they want to pursue going on a date with somebody else, but it doesn't or not somebody else, just the person they're chatting with. But it doesn't let the other person know until they also toggle it on. And then the app will let them both know that they want to go on a date with each other. So it kind of takes away the fear of asking somebody out.
Oh, awesome, man. I love that. I love that. So, I mean, well, you just took us on like a little brief tour of your kind of like what it's like to be on there and whatnot. So, I don't know. Is there anything else you could share in regards to the app that I mean, we know what ultimately sets your app apart, but like if you was give your elevator pitch of what sets your app apart from any other, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for sure, like we're trying to coin like the dating app for introverts, so that way people know we're there to help them, much like Bumble is there to cater to women. It's a niche community, and we want to help this niche community. Secondly, how users match with our match algorithm with the 5 universal love languages. We've seen a lot of people um, appreciate the love languages and how they value relationships, but not a lot of other apps use them. And then thirdly, um, I'd say like features that are meant to help introverts, such as what I mentioned with the blind date feature. In like our next phase of development, we want to add more features that'll help um, like that. So I think amongst like the customer base that I've interviewed, one of the biggest pain points that we've seen is like engagement with something as simple as just the first message somebody sends to someone. That can be difficult to figure out, and a lot of people struggle with that on both ends of the coin, both with communicating exactly what they want and understanding just from the person who's messaging what to send. So those are kind of the pain points we want to help with in when we add more development to the app. So that's kind of, I'd say, overall what makes us different.
Mm, mm. Now, I was wondering, like, what? So, if your app, when it comes to your app, like, are extroverts excluded, or like people that are understanding of of introverts, are they also able to just go ahead and join as well? And
Yeah.
like, how? So, how
Um,
does that go?
yeah, we encourage, we're meant to help introverts, but we recognize that like extroverts pair well together and like opposites attract. And so we encourage extroverts to join if they think their best match is an introvert. We don't want to be like any other app where like everyone can match with everyone. Like we don't want extroverts matching with extroverts because that kind of defeats the purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hey, if you guys have a little personality and you know that you need somebody calm to look balance you out, then go and join this app. Speaking of, you gotta tell us what the name of the app is.
Yeah. The app is called CoyAmore, so that's CoyAM as in mother ORE.
Awesome, CoyAmore. So has this endeavor, inspired anything else in you? Like, is there anything else we need to be looking out for, from you, Mr. John?
One thing at a time. I mean, it'd be cool to start another business, and I have, plenty of ideas out there, but I'm not rich or anything. I gotta financially cater to one thing at a time at this time. So, yeah, I think just that for now.
I understand. Yeah, I didn't know if you're going to be out here look on a book tour or what. Like,
No,
you
not
talking to people about being introverts, so I don't know, like introvert coach or something. I don't know. So, well, one thing just on entrepreneur side, right? So, is this something that you say that hey, you had to fund yourself, everything, like how did that go? If you don't mind sharing a little bit of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
piece.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
am
how did
funding
that
it.
happen? How did you pay for it? Stuff like
Yeah, no, I am funding it myself. It's not a cheap venture, but I am pretty good at managing my money, so
that.
I do well in that part. Yeah, for anyone starting a business, the financing part of it is always a difficult thing to figure out. I have an accountant of my own, and I go through all my finances right almost daily. So, yeah, it's definitely like if you're thinking about starting a business, highly suggest getting some financial input from a professional.
Mm, mm. It's good advice right there. I do wonder, like, what do your friends and family think?
Yeah, they're
Like,
all
I'm
very
sure people are
supportive.
different answers.
Yeah, no,
Um,
everyone's super supportive. I It's a risk, it's a gamble, it's a calculated one. I don't actually like gambling myself, but
mm,
I put a lot of work into it, which makes it feel less like a gamble in that capacity. But it still is a gamble. It's a very competitive business industry, so regardless, at the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out, I've gained a lot out of it. That's highly positive, and I wouldn't change a thing on that. Yeah, it's been a very rewarding experience.
awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So, has there been any matches yet? Like, do you have any like marriages on you? I know it's just getting started there.
No, I think it's still
Like,
too early for that. We have to now that we have our marketing manager on, we're gonna focus more regionally and spread outwards. But it is a U.S. based app. I know we have users kind of all over the country right now, but we're trying to focus more like in the Wisconsin area. Mind you, if you download the app, there are going to be we don't have currently like a mile limiter on there. We removed that so when people get on the app, they can see that there is people on there. But yeah, no matches at this time though.
okay, well, hey, it's just getting started. It looks like that gives us some things to look, have you come on back and share with us and everything like that. I'm very excited for you in this journey. Sounds like it's been amazing for you. The ups, the downs, like all the different parts of it. Who knows? Maybe you'll find love there yourself. So that would be
Yeah,
really cool to hear.
that would be cool.
And yeah, I mean, is there anything else you would like to share with us before you go?
No, I mean, you can find the app on Android and Apple. We're on all forms of social media under CoyAmore or CoyAmore Dating. And we have our own website, www.coyamore.com. We have a lot of good information on there, and we come out with regular blogs about dating and dating tips on there regularly. So, yeah, feel free to check us out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching the GSL Talk Show, and thank you to Mr. John for joining us tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed this conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check out his app, CoyAmore. I think it's awesome. So I hope that it helps you. Have a good night.